Right, and that's always been the case with any of these series. It is geared towards kids. It has to be, but Warner Brothers, we've always done shows, superhero shows, where everyone can watch it, and there's a lot of fan things in there that people can latch onto from the past, or things that read comics here or there. We always throw that stuff in.
Well, 11 minutes isn't long to focus on any character. How do you give each of the Justice League members enough attention in those 11 minutes?
We sort of mostly focus on like maybe 3 of them at a time, and that's it. And we want to put Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman out there in front, so they're featured in most of the stories. At least one of them is featured in most of the stories, and that's how we did it. And over this season, I don't know how many characters. Well, how many characters do you think we
lost count?
152.
No, not really. Really?
Yeah. At least superhero-wise, we're probably at least up to 60 villains probably right now, 40. And then sub-villains and things like that. That all adds up.
Who's the most obscure comic book hero you were able to include in that 60 superheroes?
I think maybe Constantine at this point.
True, I forgot that we used Constantine.
Right. He's in quite a few early episodes, plus Demon.
And Space Cabbie.
Space Cabbie is a fresh one, yeah, but he's definitely a character that DC wanted involved in the series, so, and it turned out to be a good choice. We definitely can go a lot of places with Space Cabbie. And Patton Oswalt is playing Space Cabbie, so that's great.
So doing designs and costumes for these characters, did you take more liberties with some of the more obscure characters than you might with Wonder Woman or Batman?
Yeah, with the main 3, they've been done so well by Bruce Timm and other people that it's always hard to come up with a new twist. Someone like Space Cabbie, I'd never heard of before, so I had to go to Google, find out who this is, what he looks like, and how we can kind of modernize him a little bit.
Did DC have a lot of input into which characters would be included, and did they say no to any that you might have wanted to use?
They gave us a list at first, and that was kind of based originally on the 52 comics. And those were, the list of characters in there were what they wanted, and it was pretty much what the ones everyone wants, and plus some odd ones. So we definitely got most of those in, plus a few that we thought of that would fit. Oh, this is Jim Krieg, by the way, our other producer. Co-producer.
Who were your favorite characters to work with?
Always Batman. Firestorm is one that we all found surprisingly fun to do. Even Demon was great, in a couple episodes we have, and Space Cabbie also, again, he's great all around.
Any of the Jack Kirby characters visually?
We've thrown Apocalypse in, and we've got some, Apocalypse stories that were never told before in other versions of Justice League and Superhero Them, so those should be fun.
Are any of the storylines from episodes pulled specifically from issues of comics?
They're based. Some of them are based.
We use the word stolen. Some are loosely based. Literally, there's an episode that was Alan's favorite comic book from when he was a kid.
Yes.
And we found a way to adapt it into a multi-part episode, which you will love, I hope.
Which one is that?
I forget the name of it. It's like number 11 or something like that. It's one where they have to disguise themselves as each other, so that they can
against the Brothers Jin.
Yes, we call them the Brothers Jin, but I'm not sure who they weren't called that.
The Demons 3.
The Demons 3, and if they said their name, because they were casting a spell toward them, then that would cast a spell. But if they said the
Yeah, you'd lose your powers.
yes, well, and yeah. But if they were disguised as other superheroes and they said the name of the person they it's always this complicated. but
And we get that done in 11 minutes.
Yes. But if they said the wrong name, then the spell wouldn't have any effect, which is why they mixed disguises. I loved it when I was a kid, and it was a hard one to put together.
It was.
It was.
I'm sure those are your favorite episodes, but did the rest of you guys have a favorite episode this season?
I really like, there's a haunted house episode with kids set during Halloween, and they're dressed up as their favorite heroes. It's probably my favorite so far.
Yeah, that's
I think
good.
that was written by Paul Dini.
I can't say I have favorites because my directors will get pissed off at me. So all of them are my favorites. Plastic Man Saves the World. That's one that we got upcoming. It's a beautiful looking show. It's also the first time we show Metropolis, and it looks pretty nice. Watch out for that one. And the one that we premiered for this convention.
Any Booster episode with Deidre Rader, Booster, they've all become one episode in my head, but there's not a dog in there. There's not a dog in the whole show.
Jim wrote a great Booster Gold episode. It's on Dinosaur Island, basically. It's going to be a winner. We haven't got the animation back yet. It's written.
So,
Yeah.
I hope they send it back.
For your 150 characters, will you guys be taking an approach similar to Brave and the Bold, where you had sort of a core cast of actors to pull from, or will it be a number of different performers coming in and playing these roles?
Well, we have the core cast, and obviously the Trinity and whoever is the major character, and then it's all about whoever comes in as a guest part, whatever we feel fits, for that voice.
I'm gonna say Wes Gleason, who casts for us and does the voice directing, has brought fantastic people in, and people out of left field who you would just think, oh, really? Hannibal Burrs is our Mr. Oh my God, he's Mr. Terrific. I was like Mr. Swell, Mr. Fine. I got Mr. Fair Play.
Well, that was Jay Bastian. He wanted Hannibal.
Oh yeah,
He's a big fan of
That's
these
right.
two. But Wes, when I first worked with him about 2 years ago, my interview with him was, I had to interview other voice directors. My first question was, well, who would you get to play Batman? And right away he said, Kevin Conroy. I said, all right, you hired me. I said, listen, I got to go through these others as a formality, but you've got the jobs.
Well, now you know what to say when you're applying for a job with Butch.
But for Wonder Woman and Superman, it came down more to, he found two newer people that we've never heard of, and they're up and coming, and their voices were just dead on perfect for what we felt the characters feel like and should sound like. And Superman has that more human, wholesome voice that carries through. I mean, Jason's definitely got that voice, and he also does a lot of other voices for us. Speaking of which, we're going to have General Zod and everyone involved in the show. So.
Right, when he says kneel before Zod, you just one tear down your cheek. That's so Jason Lewis and Wonder Woman is Rachel.
Right. Rachel Kimsey, she's playing the female character, I forget, from the fan. So.
The one who wears the flag.
Yeah, that one. All right, you're supposed to know all these characters, not me.
Yeah, that's a Wonder Woman.
Will we see more Superman family or villains in Justice League action?
Yes, yeah. I think you're going to find that many DC stones have been turned, and we pull those worms out and put them in the show.
What you think in the Superman family might show up will show up. We just can't say right now.
Something I've heard a few people say is, despite the comedy, this is not Teen Titans Go. But also with the flexibility of the characters, it seemed to me like the cyborg character you're using is very much in line with as we see him in Teen Titans Go. Is it a matter of him being the most recognizable version of that character at this point, or most interesting to use with this cast?
It's about, Kari Payton plays Cyborg all the time, and I think that's part of the bridge with the other shows. As far as what DC is concerned, and we love him, he'll always be, Cyborg. until he relinquishes that crown.
There's a piece of paper floating around. Kari's gonna sign. Let me tell you, he ain't never gonna sign.
With the movies now and the TV show, there's like a bigger ecosystem. Are you guys gonna talk? Are you gonna mention sort of like the movie angle at all, or is it just a separate world?
It's separate from the movies, for sure. It's our own little pocket universe. It's it's Earth 511. I don't know what.
And it's always been with the movies. They've always kind of told us, well, don't do what we're doing. And we're all saying, well, we weren't intended to.
Who are your favorite villains that you want to go against Justice League?
Well, definitely Darkseid and the Apocalypse villains. Steppenwolf is a great one too. And, I mean, I'm more of a Jack Kirby fan, so in the DC canon, Alan, anyone?
You sign anyone. Lex Luthor.
Played by James Woods for us. Hilarious and scary. We have the Riddler, who's Brent Spiner.
Brent Spiner.
Who also did an amazing job. We have with Michael Dorn's Atrocitus.
Right.
That was, I think, Wes Gleason, who I mentioned, I think he caught, because they have to throw out the names, and he caught on that I was a Trekkie, and he's like, if I throw in a Trek reference, I know they're not going to say no. So and John Delancey is in there. So it's been a blast for me.
We have Mr. Freeze, and that voice you'll recognize when it shows up.
Nick's his Penley. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we brought back someone to play that character. We were initially trying to get someone else, but they had other obligations. But it paid off to get back the same character or actor that played it 20 years ago.
Are the episodes mostly going to be structured as standalones for every 11 minutes? I know you said there's a couple multi-parters, but any arcs or anything like that?
Right now we have to keep with a standalone, and we are doing a premiere episode for Cartoon Network, which would be more of a 4-part bridge. But beyond that, it's supposed to be a series that every episode is on its own. Even though the characters work through all these episodes, there still is a feeling that they all are together. Who knows about the future? We might stretch that out to doing more arcs, but right now that's what we're going to.
When does it premiere?
Right now we're probably looking at end of August or middle of September. It's about our target date. But that's up to Cartoon Network.
Do you have a number of episodes that you're thinking about?
Yeah, 26 or 22 minutes, but they're 11 minutes, so 52 or 11 minutes.
52.
Yeah.
It's been a long year.
2 years.
2 years.
Oh, it just seemed like one.
Yeah,
I guess it was shorter than I thought.
For you it felt like a year.
So it will air in a half-hour block?
Yeah, it will. So each episode will have the opening title, and then it ends at 11 minutes, and then it will have end credits, and then the next episode will start do the same thing. So there'll be commercial time, I'm assuming, in the middle of that. Who cares about commercials?
Do you have a final question? Do you have a message for the fans of the Justice League as they get ready to watch this new series?
Yeah, I hope everyone sees it and sees what it. It's nice to go back to the past series and everything, but that had its day. We're a couple decades almost into a new era, so it's time to do something slightly different. But most people that love the old show will feel like these are those characters, so that's the good part.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.